The following is for reaction and review. RWBY and RWBY are owned by Rooster Teeth. Please support the official release.
Hello, Internet! I am Torma Ximnus, and... oh boy, it's been a long time, but I'm back now. Why, you ask? Well, sometime later in the evening last night, the Volume 7 trailer for RWBY came out. So excited. I don't know exactly how much of what it shows will be new for me, because, you know, I kind of got spoiled by the Play Blast that was shown at RTX 2019. I'll be doing the same thing I did for my Genlock video. Hopefully, I'll be less all over the place this time. First, I'm going to have the reaction, and then I'll pick over some bits of the video, you know, analyze it a bit, and we'll see what we've got to work with. But in the meantime, if you enjoy watching my reaction, analysis, and other videos on RWBY, Genlock, and other things, related or not, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you will always know when I release new videos. And be sure to leave a like, as that helps with my visibility on YouTube. And comment anything you want to ask or discuss down below. And with that in mind, let us begin in 3, 2, 1, now.
Many have described these as uncertain times.
Ooh.
I'm trying to do what I think is
Hey,
best,
this
but
seems
I
like...
really can't tell if what's best is what's
Okay,
right.
so we start with the end of Volume 6, and now
This
we're going
isn't
into
right.
Volume 7.
This whole city, it just seems awful.
So, what
So,
do we do?
not like how it
We
used to...
didn't come
Whoa.
this far to fail now.
Oh, hello!
Until now,
Centipede
it was
Grim!
impossible to truly turn the tide against Salem.
Ooh,
We
the
find ourselves in a
sabers.
position of needing
Wow,
new
he's
approach.
moving quickly. Dang,
Keep
an
getting
ice golem?
stronger and
Yeah,
stronger.
that's
Unless
thematically
we
appropriate to the
destroy
area. He has
So
a
we can
beard. Ironwood has a beard now? Like, a full beard? How much time has passed? And of course, everyone gets their new outfits eventually. I have no idea if it's going to be earlier in the volume or later in the volume. Yeah, it looks like she's having fun, though. Nice. Alright.
Honestly, expecting things to go a lot rougher.
You just had to say something, Crow. Oh, and now it looks like they lost the relic. Okay, question. Why does Crow have to say things? Never let your guard down. Not when you are the literal personification of luck gone awry. Oh my gosh. Crow Bronwyn. You should know better. You really should. Alright, so... Alright. That was... Initial thoughts. We're seeing some new Grimm, even ones that weren't shown in the Play Blast. For example, there will be an ice golem. That's awesome. We're getting what looks to be either centipede or millipede Grimm. So that's interesting. And we even have the returning Geist Grimm, which, I mean, I don't think we've seen that guy since Volume 4, so I'm wondering how that's going to go. Oh, the Geist Grimm, the Ice Golem, as opposed to the Stone Golem. Okay, yeah, so he's going to be going... Okay, I think I know what's going to go on with that. Okay, so, starting from the beginning. The first thing we see is the end of Volume 6. So this is kind of like a small reminder of the events that happened at the end of that volume. And I feel like this is just a bit big, so let me drag it down a little bit. Okay, I'd say that's more around where it was. Yeah. Okay. So we start off with the end of Volume 6. Of course, we have Grimzilla. We have what happened with RWBY finally starting to channel her Silver Eyes a little more properly. And then it goes into this bit here where it shows all of Atlas having what I'm assuming is the majority of the Atlas military in the sky basically going, okay, constant guard, constant guard. And given that the CCT network is down, I mean, I can kind of see that being a thing because Ironwood was there for the fall of Beacon. He knows what can happen if you're not prepared, but I kind of feel like he's being over-prepared. Then again, we get to this point where they're starting to show us some of Mistral, and it's nighttime. We have some of what Crow referred to in Volume 2 as sentient garbage roaming the streets. And honestly, these guys really aren't good for any kind of protection if you manage to hack into the network that they're plugged into. So, you know, that's not great. I get a feeling like that's going to end up causing trouble this season too, possibly, especially since Watts is going to be on site at some point. So, we'll see what happens with that. And this part here, we've got someone who's clearly upset about something. There's fire over there. I don't know what that's about. I'm wondering if this guy that's throwing the trash can is a Faunus. Well, he looks like he's got kind of a net pattern design on his jacket, which could be reminiscent of like a reference to a spider type thing or whatever. So I don't really know about that. But, oh, I see. This is a Schnee Dust Company building. That explains part of why it would be on fire. If it was sacked by angry people, Faunus in particular, since, you know, they kind of got majorly exploited. And at the end of Volume 6, we saw that Adam Taurus had literally had the Schnee Dust Company logo branded over one of his eyes. And that eye looked like it was actually made unusable when that happened. So I don't know if this has anything to do with that. It could be completely unrelated. I do know that from what I remember, Atlas is the least friendly place towards Faunus. Like, it's the most racially charged in Remnant right now. While we have seen a bit of what's happened with Faunus discrimination, we haven't really seen it really brought to the fore, because I think in part because of all this other stuff that's been going on. We've seen bits and pieces of it. We've seen stuff that's happened with Blake and the others at Menagerie. We've gotten flashbacks into both Blake's and Adam's past. But we haven't really seen much beyond that. So for this being the least tolerant area of Remnant to Faunus specifically, I'm hoping that we do see a little more on that side of things. Because if they just kind of brush past that or sweep it under the rug or something, that would be a huge disservice to what they had been trying to do with the story thus far. And nah, I don't think it gives you a chance to see what it was properly before it was broken. And here's some of the new Grim we'll be dealing with. Hey, if any of you have a problem with bugs, like a big problem with them, yeah, you might want to clench your butts for this volume, because hello, bug-type Grim. I mean, okay, we already saw Lancers, but that was kind of more like... To me, that's more like the generic type bug Grim, because everyone knows about bees and wasps and things that have stingers. So, you know, there's that. But these creepy crawly Grim? Oh, man. And are those two seriously spiraling around each other? Huh. That is kind of weird and extra creepy. Huh. They actually kind of look like they've got beetle mandibles on the front there. And of course, everyone getting ready to fight. I'm guessing this is probably when they first show up in Atlas, since they're still in their pre-Volume 7 outfits. And yeah, that's where the the sabers come in. If I remember correctly, from what I had learned back in the... Oh! Now that's interesting. Oh, okay. Let's just appreciate this one bit here for a moment. Crow just catching the saber on the end of his scythe as it's leaping at him to redirect it over him while killing it in a single move. That is awesome. I like that. But this bit right here is what I was a little more interested in. Weiss is using her semblance. I'm assuming there are glyphs on the ground, but she's using her semblance in a way that makes the sabers float, so that essentially leaves them helpless, while Ren goes in for the kill, and I wonder if this team attack here has a name. Oh, Nora's not letting that creepy crawly hit her Ren at all. Nope. Also, that looks like... Is that going to be Nora's new outfit? Because I think it looks different from what it was in the previous volume. Yeah, I think that definitely was different. I think she's finally getting an upgrade to her outfit. Oh, Ice Golem. And where did the Ice Golem come from? The Geist, obviously. This bit here, just after the Ice Golem, though. He has a full freaking beard. I don't mess with trying to have a beard at all. The most it gets is just getting all scraggly, wiry, short like this. I always trim it at least once a week, so I'm not really sure how long it takes to grow that beard, but I'm pretty sure it would have been at least a few months. That begs the question, how much time passed between the end of Volume 3 and the beginning of Volume 7? Because I know that between Volumes 4 and 5, time is kind of weird, but that Volume 6 was probably supposed to take place only over the course of maybe weeks at most. Maybe a little over a month, if anything. Let's hear this bit of conversation again between these two.
Until now, I believed it was impossible to truly turn the tide against Salem. We find ourselves in a position of needing a new approach. She will keep returning stronger and stronger unless we destroy her.
Tell us how we can help.
So, General Ironwood does not know what Team RWBY and Team Junior know. He does not know what we, who have foresight from beyond the fourth wall, know, and that is that Salem kind of can't be destroyed. I mean, she was basically obliterated during Ozpin's first incarnation when they had that huge falling out, and it's just like, oh, hey, look at all this golden dust coming together to reform Salem. How do you destroy that? Wait a second. What if that's what the Spear of Destruction could be used for? Or is it the Sword of Destruction? I forget if it's the Sword or the Spear that's creation. But one's creation, one's destruction. But if the Relic of Destruction could be used to destroy Salem, that's one way that the plot could go. But I kind of feel like it might not. Or if it does eventually go that way, it won't be immediately. And I kind of get the feeling that there's going to be a final showdown against Salem only when they've got all 4 of the relics. But, as we saw at the end of this, Ruby's likely to lose the relic due to a surprise attack that disabled her and Crow, kind of. So, oh, these are supposed to be the Volume 7 outfits. I think. Alright, so that's Volume 6 with the Raggedy Cape. Does she still have the same ragged cape? No, that's a new cape. Okay, so that's going to be her Volume 7 outfit. Is it just me, or are there even more belts and buckles on Ruby Rose now? I don't think she had the ones here. I mean, I know she had the one for her ammo. I know she had the one at the top of her boots. But here, at the wrists? Dude, come on. Are you for serious? It does look nice, though. Weiss, I'm honestly not entirely sure that I understand the reason behind getting her hair braided into a ponytail. I imagine it's to help keep it out of the way, but at the same time, now the hair can't flow freely in whatever direction gravity or inertia is trying to pull it. There is no longer that ability to have it just fan out so that it's not all dragging at you at the same time. Now it's drawn together in a single grouping. And on the one hand, I can kind of see why, just from the standpoint of that lessens the opportunity for the hair to get caught in stuff, or for someone to try and grab her hair and use that to kind of control her movements. But at the same time, now it will just whip around all in one swift movement instead of fanning out. And that means all of that inertia and force that was spread out along the individual hair strands are now concentrated together into this single rope-like hair structure, which can and will likely pull at your head when it whips around. So I honestly don't know how much that would actually help her combat-wise. I honestly feel like that would probably be more of a hindrance than anything. Don't get me wrong, the braided hair, it looks nice. It just seems impractical to me. Now, to my mind, if she really wanted to have her hair more out of the way, she probably would have had it done up into a bun, like in the back of her head or along the sides of her head, or just had it kind of folded over, scrunched up, and held in place with a pin. I mean, those would have all been better ways to handle it. I don't know if Weiss would actually do that, and, well, I don't know that that's what the creators of RWBY would be doing. This is interesting, though. Instead of summoning her entire summon all in one go, we see a more controlled form of what we saw at the end of Volume 3, where the sword is brought out, just the arm and the sword, and instead of it coming out to protect her, it's just held out for her to slide down. So that feels like she's got a new landing strategy figured out, which actually makes sense to me. If you've got your summon coming out in part or in full from your glyph, and your glyph can just hang in the air, seemingly completely ignoring the laws of gravity and physics, that then means that any portion of what you're summoning would thereby be coming out of its own little pocket space area, if you will. And that's... honestly, I like that. And that's not just being able to use that as a landing strategy. That is also something where, while Weiss is sliding down it, she could have the summon flick the flat of the blade up to send her further into the air again. So that could be a trick to also be used to help with aerial mobility and maneuvering. I now wonder if we might actually see that at some point in this volume. I would be very interested in finding out. And of course, she's still using her rapier, or rather, not rapier, still using Mertenaster, her main weapon, as a sword primarily. And here we have Blake in her Volume 7 outfit. First thing everyone noticed about this is the fact that her hair is significantly shorter now. I've actually had hair that long before, and I'm not sure if having it at that length would do a whole lot for keeping it out of your face. Then again, it's like, when my hair's that long, all of it is that long. I don't have short bangs, so I can't really comment too much on this particular hairstyle. And there she is fighting against the Poltergeist Grim. And that, I believe, is the same Grim that we saw possessing the Ice Golem earlier on. So this will either be just before or just after the Ice Golem appears. Now, this outfit that Yang has right here. One thing that I've noticed about the outfits that all of the characters have right now is that they actually look like they're more suited to cold weather. You can see here that Yang's got the fur lining on the inside for what's showing, longer sleeves, and it looks heavier. So, unlike their travel between Mistral and, I believe it was Solitas, unlike traveling between those 2 points where they were probably just using their auras to protect them from the cold weather. Now they actually have something that can do that a bit more for them. So now less of their aura has to go to protecting them from the elements and more of it can go to protecting them in battle. Also, I just kind of like this. Look better? Huh. Hey! I just noticed. It looks like she's got an upgrade for her arm right here. So that now she has a proper second Ember Silica again. Now I'm wondering if she had the other half of Ember Silica on her the whole time and just wasn't using it because her arm had this little gun thing. But I would really like to see the full set of that weapon being put to use again. Oh, I am really looking forward to that. And of course, Yang's always wearing shades. Orange instead of black this time. Hey! And now we get the full group posing. With a full view of the Volume 7 outfits in. Huh. Okay. I understand RWBY having a bunch of belts, but why does Weiss have a bunch of belts? And holy crap. Okay, you know what? Calling it now. Right now. I feel like all this that we're seeing with these new outfits is just having them look more and more like Kingdom Hearts characters or Final Fantasy character or something like that. With all of the belts and zippers we got here. It's like, dude, come on. It's getting to be a bit much. And I don't even get what the zippers on the front of the leggings for Blake's outfit has to do with anything. I mean, what does that do? If that has some actual kind of function other than just trying to give it a cool look, I'd really like to know. Because that just doesn't seem like it has any kind of proper function. It just doesn't make sense from a functional standpoint. I mean, okay, yeah, it can look cool. I have no problem with things looking cool. But I'd also like it if they made sense. Just a little bit more. RWBY Volume 7.
I was honestly expecting things to go a lot rougher.
Okay, so Crow just had to say that. So what happens? Everyone gets hit. And, whoa, wait. Who was that stealing the relic, though? Okay, I want to know who that guy is, because I do not recognize him right now. Not from the rear side profile that we get right here. I'm wondering if that's a student of Atlas Academy that got conscripted by Watts or someone else that's part of Salem's forces, though. Strange. But yeah, he grabs the relic. So, that is a thing. So, yeah. There's a lot going on in this little trailer here. Well, losing the relic. And it looks like that's going to happen not long after they arrive in Atlas. So I feel like the plot of Volume 7 is going to revolve around them either trying to get that back or trying to make sure they get the next relic before the other guy does, or both. So either by the end of this or next volume, and it'll probably be a 2-volume spread the same way they did with Mistral, but I think by the end of Volume 8 for sure, what we might end up seeing is Team RWBY and company getting the relic for Atlas, and then they have to fight the other guy who took the Relic of Knowledge from Mistral, and then it's basically winner takes all. So either that, or things could reach a point where the enemies decide, okay, you know what, we've got one relic, we'll get the other relic from them later, and then they just yeet out of there, and then they show up to try to get the relic later, after the relic that they've managed to get a hold of, the Relic of Knowledge, is safely stashed away. That's some stuff that could happen. I honestly don't know if that's how it's going to happen. There is one other thing, though. And that is that Ironwood is talking about destroying Salem. And that has me wondering if he has an idea that could possibly potentially work now, or if he's just talking out of his butt out of desperation, or either that or ignorance, because we all know that Salem can't be destroyed. So I honestly don't know how that's going to be handled. I do know that Team RWBY and Co. are going to be helping out with things at Atlas once they get there. I am looking forward to Volume 7 right now. And the fact that it's coming out in November 2nd, 4 weeks until it's out. That is awesome that it's about to be out then. Well, anywho, that's about all I can think of for this video. Again, if you enjoy watching my videos, seeing my reactions, analysis, or other videos that I do, please be sure to subscribe for more and turn on that notification bell so that you'll never miss a new video. Like this video to help with its visibility. Leave a comment if you have anything you want to ask or discuss. And until next time, this is Torma Ximnus signing off. Stay frosty, my friends.